Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new Sacred Union energy update. Wow, holy smokes, what a week it's been. Oh my goodness. Rapidly shifting energy. Just so much energy being felt through the collective. Many feeling challenging in many ways. In some ways, it felt a little bit difficult to navigate because the energy was shifting so acutely. And we could feel it. And especially if you're divine feminine energy, you could feel the shifting energy. You could feel the anchoring in, the embodiment. You could feel the consciousness shift. And in many ways, it was challenging because not only were we trying to navigate our human experience, our regular human experience, but we were feeling the energies, some of us really navigating in the higher realms, especially if you were called to rest a lot, if you were called to sleep a lot. It's because there was so much that was happening within the energy realms, the energetic realms, that it's almost like our body needed to take care of itself in order to bring through those codes, bring through that light energy, and align to all the energy that was being felt, especially the shifts, especially for the divine masculines. I just need to give a shout out to the divine masculines because I feel like they were going through it. I'm just getting like crown chakra lit up, just a lot of consciousness shifts, perspective shifts, belief shifts, mindset shifts. Divine feminines, you holding that space for the masculines. That's really what you were doing this week, but you could feel everything too. I'm almost getting like it doesn't feel fair. Like you went through your ascension journey, divine feminines. Why do you have to hold space for the divine masculine? But remember that your divine masculine held space for you when you were going through your ascension. They held space for you, and now it's you are holding space for them. So I can hear you guys saying like it's not fair, and I get it, but it's not that you're going through your ascension twice with your divine masculine. It's just that you're holding that space for them. So allow yourself to kind of make sure that you are, always in the energy of presence and love and embodiment for yourself. Make sure that you're honoring yourself and especially taking care of yourself, and allow yourself to. You don't have to hook into that energy. Your divine masculine's got this. Believe that your divine masculine's got this. Your divine masculine is part of you. You're part of each other. So allow yourself to, you don't have to fix anything, change anything, heal anything. Just hold that energy of love and hold that energy of within yourself, because that's what's going to ultimately help the connection as well and help your divine masculine. Again, you don't have to, because they're you're each other energetically, and they're just going through their own ascension. They're going through their own major consciousness shift, and so just like they held space for you during yours, you're holding space for them, and it might feel a little bit difficult for you, but allow yourself to unhook from that and just hold that space. You don't have to physically actively do anything. Just hold that space and be in your personal empowerment and your embodiment. You're, recognizing your value, recognizing your worth, recognizing your love. The more that you're doing that, the more it's allowing for them to do the same. I want to see if there's anything else about that. Because they did the same for you. They were holding that space for you. That's where you are as sacred partners. You grow, heal, and expand together. You are working at the highest level together. And even though it might not look it in the physical 3D reality, even though it might look completely different, you might be like, well, I'm not talking to them, or I'm blocked, or they're doing this, or they're doing that. On the highest level, you are working together. And divine feminines, you understand this because you're able to see that bigger picture and pull back and see that higher perspective. Remember that you are always working together in that higher realm, from that higher perspective, because you are that one oversoul. You're displaying that in two embodiments, in two separate bodies. You're displaying that in different personalities. That's where it looks like you're opposites. It's the union of opposites. You're two sides of the same coin, approaching it from different angles, but it's the same energy, the same kind of oversoul. So when you're going through this ascension journey, it might look really different, but that's where you have to tune into your intuition. That's where you have to tune into your heart space. That's where you have to tune into the energy for that clarity, for that truth, for that conscious awareness. So this week has been a little bit difficult. It's been a little bit challenging on many levels. I myself am so incredibly drained. I just have to really nurture myself, my body, my physical energy. It's been a tough one because there have been so many shifts, and part of my job here is to bring through the shifts and feel all the energy. So it's been a little bit difficult. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you are nurturing yourself, loving yourself, and doing whatever it is for your physical bodies, your energetic bodies, your emotional bodies, to really continue to nurture yourself and love yourself and honor yourself in that way. Take care of yourself, especially through these massive changes. But kudos to the Masculines, because I feel like they are doing the work. I feel like they are having that recognition. I feel like they are having that newfound conscious awareness. Even if they were, spiritual and conscious on some level, ascension, I always say, is a deep dive. Ascension is layers and layers and layers. And you have to go through those layers to continue to ascend and to continue to shift, including allowing yourself to go through that dark edge of yourself. I call it the deeper dives. I call it, kind of like the underworld of yourself. And I feel like these Divine Masculines have been doing that. And I do feel I'm getting the sensation of a lighter energy coming through. So I do feel like there's a lighter energy. I'm getting almost like from the Divine Masculine a sigh of relief, because I feel like they've been there. And I feel like because they've been there, what it is, you have to draw it to the surface of your awareness in order to release it. And I feel like they've been there. I feel like they're releasing it. I feel like they're allowing themselves to heal, forgive, love on deeper and deeper levels, see themselves on deeper levels. And there's a sense of divinity coming through as well, where I feel like they're recognizing their divinity, not from an egoic place, where many of them were, but from a place of connecting deeper to themselves and to God's source. And that is what this ascension journey is all about, connecting deeply to yourself and to God's source, and recognizing that there's no separation there. And the more that you connect deeply to yourself and to God's source, the more you connect to your sacred counterpart, the more you connect to others in the world as a whole. So I do feel like there is this sense of coming online with regards to the connection, both with their counterpart and with themselves and God's source. And I feel like that's what's bringing them a sense of peace. That's what's bringing them a sense of relief. That's what's bringing them a greater sense of love. It's they are recognizing on a newly conscious level their connection to God's source. Not so much from an intellectual place, not so much from an egoic place, but from a deep-seated spiritual place that is to their own personal truth. Your spirituality is your personal truth. It's not indoctrination. It's not regurgitation. It is recognizing from your own intuition, your soul speaking to you as far as your own inner truth, your own inner power. And that's what I feel like is happening for the collective here. The Divine Masculine especially anchoring into that. And I feel like the Divine Feminines, you're holding space for that energy as you continue to embody that, because you've gone through that on your ascension as well. If you're a Divine Feminine who is experiencing that masculine energy, you're going through that, then it's just your own inner masculine that is anchoring into that. Because remember, you have both energies within you. And so at certain points of our journey, we are healing either the feminine energy or the masculine energy. So you might be anchoring into the masculine energy or healing that masculine energy. But I really feel like it's the masculine embodied person, especially if you're sacred partners in two physical bodies who are experiencing this. If you're experiencing this with another person, I should say, then you're really anchoring into that. Okay, so that being said, what I want to do today is a Sacred Union Energy update about the connection. I want to understand what's happening within the connection. This could be from the higher level. This could be from the physical level. Whatever comes through, I want to see what's happening within the connection, how you guys are experiencing each other, feeling about each other, all that good stuff. Just kind of want to look into what's happening on overall with regards to the connection, because it is a connection. And I think so often when we get into a place of looking too much at the physical, we can disregard our intuition. We can disregard what our heart is telling us. and kind of pull back and say, oh, this isn't happening. Oh, I don't believe in this anymore. It's a difficult journey because it's really about releasing the logic and releasing the illusion and really trusting in the heart space. Now, the important part is to allow yourself to release the expectation and the attachment of what you think it looks like, or what you thought it looked like, or what you perceive the journey is supposed to be. And just allowing it to become whatever it needs to be, allowing it to unfold. Divine Feminines especially that's been her core lesson on this journey, trusting her intuition and allowing that to unfold, allowing that to flow. Divine Masculines approaching that from a little bit of a different angle, releasing the logic and allowing their heart to really guide them as far as their action, allowing themselves to receive that divine guidance and intuitive action. So a little bit of a different angles for both masculine and feminine, but both learning to trust in the heart space and follow that heart guidance. I do want to say this too, that allow yourself to release the journey as a whole. Allow yourself to release even, your counterpart, who they were, who they used to be, who you were, who you used to be, the way that you desired this journey to unfold, because put your trust and your faith in that surrender. I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. What's been coming through to me is that surrender is the balance between trust and faith. And where do you have trust and faith? In yourself and your counterpart and in God. It's that Trinity energy. You're working as one. So allow yourself to just have that surrender for how it's all going to unfold. I did a collective message. I posted a collective message today. There are miracles in every moment. That has been coming through in a number of my channelings over the years. There are miracles in every moment, because miracles are just shifts in energy. And we call them miracles because we're not used to that. Because our egos aren't used to that. But there are miracles in every single moment. It's just shifts in energy. So allow that shift in yourself, allow that shift in energy, and allow yourself to release the person, place, thing, timing, unfolding, how it all looks, and just allow yourself to open up to give and receive the energy of love. Your partner, your sacred union is here. I have not channeled for 4 years about sacred union without my ego, without not wanting to believe in it, but I have to believe in it. And I've seen the magic. I have seen the miracles. I have seen within my own connection and in others' connections, I've seen the unfolding. I have not channeled for 4 years without this being true, because believe me, my ego has not wanted this to be true. I was never wanting to be led here. When I started my channel, I wanted to do pick a cards. I wanted to do career, soul path, all that stuff. I had no intention of, number one, being part of a sacred partnership. This whole twin flame stuff took me completely off guard. My divine masculine took me completely off guard. But from the very beginning, I knew something special was happening. I felt it in every single cell of my being. And I said, I don't know what's happening, but there's something here. There's something here. And it wasn't like any other connection in any kind of way I've ever felt before. And it was the catalyst for my ascension. It was the beginning of the greatest journey I've ever experienced. And in many cases, it was challenging and difficult and painful. But it's brought me to this point in myself and in my connection to God, and even in my connection to my counterpart, that in the surface on the 3D looks like there was nothing there, and even looks like there won't be for his choice, or it looks like from his choice. But I just have to believe, because I at some point have to just relinquish my ego and believe in what I'm channeling. When I channel, this is not ego. This is God's source that I channel directly through, coming through me and coming out. And I have seen the changes. I have seen the transformation. I have seen, again, the miracles and the magic when I allow myself to believe in what I'm channeling, what I'm receiving. That's not for you to believe, allow yourself to trust your journey, allow yourself to take what resonates for you and believe in your intuition, believe in your journey. But I do serve as a guide here, and I'm honored to do so. But this is for me as well. This is an energy exchange. This is where my path has led me. And I can't do anything at this point but believe and have that place of surrender, of trust, that balance between trust and faith, just surrender to God, just surrender to the universe. And that is where I find so much peace now. A year ago, I couldn't have said this, but I have found such peace in this energy of surrender, and this energy of just allowing my heart to feel what it wants to feel, whether it's anger or whether it's love. And it's always coming back to love. It always comes back to love. Just allowing myself to surrender in that place and feel that peace. And that's where over the past year, I have just anchored into that sacred union, understanding that there is no lack. Even though my relationship with my counterpart might look a certain way, might look like we have no relationship at all in the 3D, I feel that sacred union within us. Even though we might be on our own individual journeys, I feel him with me all the time. And there's no lack there. There's just love. And yes, sometimes, like I said, sometimes there's anger, and sometimes there's, some stuff that's coming up to the surface from our past. But all I feel is love. And through every situation and every circumstance and every bit of our connection, it always came back to the love. Love, forgiveness, understanding, connection, it always came back to that. I always said that there was always the undercurrent of love between us. We just couldn't get it worked out in the physical. We just couldn't figure that out in the physical. But I do not, in any sense of the word, doubt that there has and always has been and always will be love between us. There was always an undercurrent of love. So all I can do is just surrender and trust in God to help navigate this and bring in whatever needs to be brought in for our journeys, and just trust in that and honor that, and trust and honor each other. So I forget why I was saying that. So let's get to it. All right, let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine when it comes to this journey. What's going on for the Divine Masculine, the current energy when it comes to this journey. This is the Journey of Love deck. I don't use it very often, but it's a beautiful deck. If you follow me over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, I often use these cards for the Sacred Channeling thumbnails. Beautiful deck. All right. Shifting universe. What did I say? What did I say? I'm going to pause here and talk about the Divine Masculine for a minute. We also have the 7 number, 7 being the energy of your soul path, your life path. You're on the right path. And look at that spiral. That is the ascension journey in a nutshell. It might have felt like there were all these fractured pieces. It might have felt like there were all these different fragments, but it's all coming together. It's all about going deep within yourself. And I'm just pointing to like this yellow here being like the soul's light, discovering the soul's light, shutting out the noise, the influence, the outside world, to really discover your connection within yourself. And I feel like that's what's going on for the Divine Masculine. We have shifting universe, and I feel like that's the conscious awareness that is happening. It's a deeper level of conscious awareness, conscious connection to oneself, to God, and even to you, Divine Feminine. And I feel like that's where they are in this journey. They're really having this conscious awakening. They might have been spiritually awakened before. They might have been spiritually in tuned, but ascension is a deeper level. It is a different level. Not everybody's going through this ascension journey, but not everybody is consciously aware of it or doing the work. Everybody has these spiritual awakenings. The global collective is going through an ascension process, but not everybody is conscious of it yet. Divine Masculine is conscious of it, becoming conscious of it, and becoming conscious of it on a very deep level, because they're connecting much more deeply to themselves. And because of that, they're having a higher awareness of what this connection means and what this connection means to their journey. Sacred Union Path of Ascension is a very specific path. The Twin Flame Path of Ascension, we'll call it, but I call it Sacred Union Path of Ascension, is a very specific path. So everybody's going through the ascension journey. The planet is going through a process of ascension. Mother Gaia is going through a process of ascension. It's an evolution, it's an expansion, it's a shift. But everybody goes up the mountain through a very different path. Sacred union is a very specific path where you are doing this with a partner, and not everybody is doing that. That's very important to understand here. Not everybody is doing this. You hear a lot about how twin flames are rare, and that's true. At least twin flames who are going through this ascension journey together. That is what is rare about it. Sacred union is very, very specific. I just keep getting that energy, very, very specific. Because there are people who think that they're maybe a twin or maybe going through this ascension journey with their counterpart, but it's more a soul connection. And there's no hierarchy. Going through the sacred union journey with a partner does not mean that you are better or worse than somebody. It's just the path that your soul chose. There is no hierarchy there. There is no superiority there. There's no better or worse. That's duality consciousness. We don't talk about that. We don't look at things that way. We look at things as the middle path. So when they're bringing through the energy of sacred union is a specific path, it's because they want you to understand if you're part of this collective here, then you are part of that path. But you have to go through the process of trusting in your intuition, going deep within yourself in order to determine that, to discern that for yourself. Sacred union, again, specific path, where you're doing this in connection with another. I'm going to guide you guys to my Twin Flame Truths channeling for more on that if you want to learn more about that, especially if you're new to the channel, because we've talked a lot about ascension relationships and sacred unions over the years. So if you're new here, I condensed everything into that Twin Flame Truths channeling. There's a playlist of excerpts here on the channel. They're bringing it to me because I feel like that's what the divine masculine is understanding. They're understanding that, yes, they might have been, having spiritual experiences, or they might have felt this connection in some way, but now they're understanding the importance of it. Now they're understanding the ascension aspect of it. Now they're understanding, oh my goodness, now they're understanding the depth of the connection and what it means for your ascension journey, the depth of your ascension journey. It's a very, very different conscious understanding and awareness that they have now about the connection and about themselves and about the journey as a whole. They're going to be approaching it very differently too, I'm also hearing. And it's all because they're going deep within themselves. Okay, what's going on for the Divine Feminine with regards to her journey and this connection? How is she viewing this journey and her connection? Divine Feminine, please. The light field. This is where you're holding space. You're holding the light. That's what you're meant to be doing at this time. You're holding that space. You're holding the light, embodying the light. And as you're doing that, it's having a ripple effect. I'm just seeing like the light spreading. Like as your own aura, as your own energetic field expands from this ascension journey, as you embody the light and hold the light, the energy expands. And I'm just seeing, like, you can't see me. But I'm seeing it just expands outwards to have this ripple effect on everything around you. So that's what this ascension journey is doing for you. That's what this connection is doing for you, for both of you. Understand, like, for both of you. But I feel like that's where you are right now, Divine Feminine. You're holding the space for your masculine, and you're holding the space for the greater collective as well. Okay. Very short and sweet there. Union energies. What do we need to know for the union energies between the masculine and the feminine? Oh my gosh. Look at this. Yin Yang Lover. If that's not divine union, I don't know what is. Absolutely. The yin yang is the balance between the masculine and the feminine. Yin Yang Lover. This is your union. This is your union. And just for a moment, joy, allow yourself to feel the joy. We talk about this a lot. And it's no coincidence what I am called to say, especially when it comes to sharing my own experiences, especially when it comes to the beginning of my readings, because it all serves a purpose. When I was saying and sharing my experience of how I don't feel lack within my connection anymore, even though my divine counterpart blocked me on social media, where I can't even communicate with him anymore if I wanted to. I haven't been, because he stopped talking to me, and ceased communication back in August. And that's, I don't, put the blame on him. We had an argument and it was very difficult, but I realized that I couldn't be the one that was always reaching out, that was always, kind of doing the chasing, that was always trying to rectify situations. And over the course of our time together, he was always, doing the same, trying to reach out to me. But it felt like, especially when he went silent, that I was always the one that was trying to break the silence. And I realized that I couldn't do that, we needed to both come towards each other. And I felt like over the course of our experience, like I was always the one that was trying to go to him. And I realized that I couldn't do that anymore. It didn't feel right. It just, I couldn't. And just a couple of weeks ago, because I was, ridiculously human, and it felt close to me when I would check his profile. Nothing changed. We weren't friends on Facebook. Nothing in his profile changed or anything, but I would just feel close to him, by seeing if he was online or looking at his stuff, or whatever. And it was just me being I want to say stupid, but Spirit wants me to be kinder to myself than that. But it was just me being human, and wanting to feel closer to him. And then I realized that he had blocked me. I couldn't look at his profile anymore. I couldn't communicate to him, even if I wanted to. And it wasn't that I didn't want to. It was just, it didn't feel right for me to reach out. And so he literally blocked me. And it at the time, it was like, it almost made me laugh, because I was like, holy crap, either, I was triggering him still, or he was feeling my energy, because just a few days before I was wanting to get out of the habit of looking at his profile and stuff, his social media. And so I'm like, maybe I should just block him because he's not communicating with me anyway. It was in my ego. I was in my ego of, why should he look at my stuff, and if I can't look at his, and he doesn't want to communicate with me anyway. But I said, you know what, that's silly. I can have the discipline to just not look at his profile. I do not have the discipline, but so he did me a favor. But and I went through some resentment and anger, like, why would you do this, and stuff like that. But at the same time, I realized he was either looking at my stuff, even though we weren't communicating, and feeling triggered by something, or he was feeling me energetically, at the same time, because I had literally just shifted energy around all of that day when I realized that he had blocked me. So it's like, I went through a lot of emotions with that, and I realized I don't feel lack. I don't feel lack. He's still always with me. The love is still always there. And that's what it is with these divine counterparts. You're connected. You are connected. And I want to say this too. Over the course of my journey, I have done so much healing around attachment, releasing the trauma bond, releasing all of that stuff that we look at in the 3D, right? Is this a narcissistic empath connection? Is this an attachment avoidant connection? Is this a trauma bond? I looked at all of that. I healed all of that. And what it comes down to is that we are just connected. And I can't deny that anymore, and I won't deny that anymore. What does that look like in the 3D? I have no idea. I have no idea. And that's where I release, and that's where I surrender, that's where I just let it go and say, you know what? Maybe we're just on our separate journeys right now, or individual journeys right now. And that's where I just hold that space and love him. And allow myself to move through forgiveness, allow myself to move through any lingering energy, allow myself to transform, allow him the space for him to transform, allow our connection to transform if it needs to. And just am in the energy of, you know what? I'm just going to trust in the energy that I'm receiving. Especially this week, there was a lot of energy where I was feeling the connection. And I apologize, you guys, I haven't been very well. I'm losing my voice here. Um, and so throat chakra energy as well, perhaps, but it's my own energy. I haven't been feeling very well. Um, so the energy this week, I felt my masculine closer energetically than he's been in a very long time. When we were first connected, I felt I could smell him. I could hear him. I could feel him. It was like that. It's the connection. And you guys understand because you feel this connection. It looks crazy from the outside in. It looks crazy if you're not experiencing this connection, but that's where you have to trust and believe in what you are experiencing, believe in the energy, and just allow yourself to go with the flow of that energy and allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to love, allow yourself to just open up to it. That's what this feels like. Allow yourself to receive and give that love. Just be in the energy of love. Just allow yourself to open up to it because that's where the miracles and the magic happens in your life, not just within the connection, but in the whole of your life. When you open your heart and allow yourself to just give and receive that love to the fullness that your soul wants to give and receive that love, magic and miracles happen. I have seen that time and time again throughout my entire life. When I allow myself to open up my heart and just give and receive love, and be in the energy of love in the fullness and the depth that my soul craves and wants to open up. When that happens, it doesn't matter, what the other person is doing. Have those boundaries, have that respect, but allow yourself to at least energetically open in the energy of love. Magic and miracles happen. I have seen it for myself. Again, you have to be accepting. You have to have that balance of acceptance, especially in the 3D of somebody saying, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not capable of this. Allow yourself to say, okay, and honor that. That took me a long time to understand too, because I was feeling the connection so deeply. And it was like, I don't understand, if I'm feeling this, isn't this true? Well, two truths can be held at the same time. And so you can feel the love and understand intuitively what's happening, and also understand that the 3D might not be matched yet. So trust in the energy and just allow yourself to open up to the energy. I recently had the experience of meeting somebody. It's just a platonic soulmate connection. I don't want to say just. Very nice person. He's not my counterpart. I'm going to do a soulmate reading on this, I think, possibly this week. He's not my counterpart. The depth of love that I feel for my counterpart, the compatibility that I feel for my counterpart is unmatched. But I allowed myself to, platonically, just allow myself to give and receive, just open up. And I learned a lot from this person about myself, about connection, and about this connection with my sacred partner as well. There is a depth here. Allow yourself to and you feel this in the soul of yourself. Allow yourself just to love. Allow yourself just to be open to love. Be present with that love. Be present in your life. Be present in how you're embodying joy and happiness and love. Be present with the energy of your connection. Okay, that was a lot deeper than I expected. All right, let's get a little bit into how are they feeling about the divine feminine? How is the divine masculine feeling about the divine feminine? Ooh, we got the Tower. And we got the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Sudden realizations happening. And like I said, there's a newfound conscious awareness that's coming through. And the 10 of Swords, yeah. So I feel like they are, it's a very interesting energy. And I'm going to try to articulate it here. So this is for the divine masculine here. We have the 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like with the Tower here, it's like this revelation energy, this realization energy. I'm feeling like it hit them like a bolt of lightning. It hit them in their heart space especially. Remember when I said the heart and the mind coming online? We've been feeling that energy over the past week, especially with the shift that I felt last Friday, last week. That's what this really feels like. It feels like this new conscious awareness, especially when it comes to this connection, what this connection means to them, what you mean to them. And I really feel like they understand that you are their sacred partner on some level. Everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. Everybody's timing is going to be a little bit different. But I feel like on some level they're understanding that you are their sacred partner. They might not have the language for that, the words for that, but they're understanding the sacredness of this connection. They're understanding the depth of this connection and the love that they have for you, and it's hitting them like a bolt of lightning. There's this new awakening kind of energy that's coming through, this new clarity, new consciousness that's coming through. And I do feel like they want to connect with you. They want to reunite with you. They want to build that bridge with you with the Six of Cups. There's also a sense of nostalgia that's coming through here. So I do feel like they might be missing you as well. Maybe missing what you had, maybe missing conversation, maybe just missing as a whole. But they're going to start moving through that. The deeper they connect with themselves, the more they understand that you're always connected and always have been. They're tuning into that intuition and they're understanding what that means. They've always felt that. They've always felt you with them, just like you've always felt them with you, Divine Feminines, but you've had that conscious understanding of what that means. They're beginning to work through that conscious understanding of what that actually means. And I do feel like some might be reaching out in order to build that bridge. So with that, the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords is a really interesting energy. I feel like there's this cycle of endings and beginnings that are happening at the same time. There's a healing of that Ten of Swords and healing of the past. Could be betrayal, could be hurt, could be whatever this was in the past, either within themselves or within the connection with you. There's this forgiveness energy that's coming through, and we talked about that. So there's this healing that's coming through, this ending that's coming through, and with that it's like it's allowing them to dream again. I feel like they had kind of blocked off a part of themselves because they were so in their pain, but they had to go deep into the underworld. Remember, they had to go deep within themselves to understand what was that pain, what was that trigger, what was that catalyst, what was it that I was actually feeling, because it wasn't necessarily the connection, it was stuff that was being projected onto the connection from their past. So I feel like they had to really go deep into the underworld of themselves in order to circle back around. And now it's like they're with this conclusion of that underworld kind of energy, with that healing of that ending of that former version of themselves, that pained version of themselves. They're moving into this Ten of Pentacles where they're allowing, and I'm getting a lot of third eye energy here. They're allowing themselves to dream and envision again that Ten of Pentacles. And Spirit saying it's not just dreams and visions. It is really wanting to put down roots, really wanting to anchor this into the physical. So I feel like they're putting forth some kind of plan, both within their mind and in their action space, in their physical world, with regards to what do they dream of for their life, for this next level of their life. They're beginning to really understand that there was an old version of themselves that they kept playing out and playing out and playing out, and even projecting that onto the connection. And now it's like they're putting that old version of themselves, that past version of themselves that they were holding on to themselves. Other people might have been doing this as well, but that they were holding on to themselves. Again, the energy has to shift within themselves first in order for it to shift within the outside world, including other people and other connections. They had to shift the energy within themselves, and that's what they're doing. They're transforming within themselves. And so from that healing and transforming, they're starting to really think about what is it that they want for their future. And I feel like they're maybe changing jobs or stabilizing their finances or mending connections, or even mending the connection with you, but it's with you in mind, like you're there with them. Just like, sometimes Divine Feminines, they're at the forefront of your mind or they're at the back of your mind. They're always with you because they're part of your energy. They're part of you. You have a shared energy system. That's this connection. You have a shared energy system. More so, like, you can share connections with other people. This is a very different energy. This is a very different connection. And they're beginning to understand that. They're beginning to really lean into that, is what I'm hearing. So I do feel like there is this ending and beginning that's happening at the same time with these sudden revelations, and I feel like they're putting into place and wanting to put into place how to build this connection, how to build a firmer, stable, more committed connection with you as well. Okay, I'm gonna use the same deck. Divine Feminines. How are you feeling about the connection with your masculine? The Knight of Cups, you can feel it. You can feel it. The Page of Wands. The Nine of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck as well. Divine Feminines, you can feel this. You might not be able to see any of the physical, but you can feel this energetically. You can feel this union. I'm getting a lot of heart chakra activations right now. You have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles I want to talk about first. So you are standing in your embodiment. You're just kind of like, doing your thing. I feel like there might be underneath the surface a little bit of a anxiety about when this comes to fruition, because you feel this coming. You feel your divine masculine coming. And there's a little bit of a nervousness energy about it. Because it's almost like a tower moment for you. It might feel like it's going to take you a little bit off guard, and you might feel a little bit guarded as far as, even though you're in your empowerment, you feel at peace with everything. You feel like you feel good about everything. You feel almost like nonplussed, very like nonchalant about everything. Underneath, there's a little layer of anxiety. A little layer of what's going to happen. A little layer of, can I trust this? A little layer of, especially if you've been apart from your counterpart, is this little layer of it's almost like what they're saying. It's like the ego, right? The ego wants to be prepared. You want to prepare yourself for this, and you can't. That's what Spirit's saying. Like, you can't prepare yourself for this. The only thing that you can do is trust in yourself and in your intuition, and that you will feel by the energy the difference. You will feel by the energy whether this transformation has taken root or not. You want to prepare and be prepared for this, because you can feel your counterpart coming towards you. You can feel communication coming in. You can feel it's a little bit scary for you. It's a little bit anxiety inducing. It's because it's so, as expected as it is, it also feels unexpected. Because who are they going to be? How are they going to act? How am I going to act? Who am I going to be? Are we going to go back into a similar cycle as we were? Or are we going to move into the new energy, into a new cycle, into a new connection? It's a little bit nerve-wracking for you, because you can feel it, but you can't quite see it. With this Page of Wands, it's trusting in their actions, and trusting in the sincerity of their emotions, their energy, trusting in their expression. But with the Wands here, it's like making sure that the energy is aligned with the actions. And I feel like you're a little bit guarded, because in the past the energy hadn't been aligned with the actions. But you're just kind of playing it cool, and you are saying, you know what, I will deal with it. I will deal with it when it comes in. But I feel like as much as you want to be prepared, I feel like you won't be. And so that's where you have to be in your embodiment and just trust in yourself. Just trust in your self-mastery, trust in your intuition, trust in your ability to discern. Because I feel like it's going to take you a little bit off guard, and I feel like it's like you want to be prepared, but I don't feel like anything is going to prepare you for this. Just trust in yourself. Trust in yourself and where this journey has led you. Okay. I'm going to start bringing this to a close, but we're going to get some romance angels and see how are they feeling about you and how are you feeling about them. Divine Masculine, how are you feeling about the Divine Feminines right now? How are you feeling about the Divine Feminines? How are you feeling about the Divine Feminines? Yeah, I am not at all surprised to see this card, Forgiving and Learning, because that's exactly the crux of what we've been receiving. It's this higher level of conscious awareness that's coming through. And I feel like, just like we were saying with the Ten of Swords here, they're going through this process of really, that learning energy is that conscious awareness. They're really learning about the connection. They're learning about themselves, connecting deeply to themselves. And there's this sense of self-forgiveness and forgiveness of the counterpart, forgiveness of the other, forgiveness of the journey, even I'm hearing. And that's really important. I'm hearing forgiveness of the journey. They're forgiving the journey, maybe the journey with your counterpart or the journey of their own self. There's a sense of forgiveness that's coming through. But it's because they are really, releasing and healing the past. You experience more love in your present moment. That's exactly what's happening. They are releasing the past and learning from it and having more conscious awareness. And because of that, it's enabling them to heal. It's enabling them to forgive. It's enabling them to transform into a new and higher version of themselves. And I feel like they're really recognizing your role and where they might have some counterparts might have experienced this. Your mileage may vary on this. Your experiences may vary, but they might have blamed you at some point. They might have projected all of that onto you. But I feel like there's this new sense of understanding of the role that you played, and not coming from a place of blame, but coming from a place of, oh, you were challenging me to be the best version of myself. Oh, you were a catalyst for this growth. It was only because it brought a lot of change and shifts for them, and because they were in such resistance to that change and to that shift, they were in resistance to themselves. They were abandoning themselves. They were resisting themselves, and that's why they were running and abandoning the connection. They were running and abandoning themselves, and they're realizing this, and they're understanding that you only were offering love. They weren't able to see that. They weren't able to feel that depth within themselves quite yet. Even though they were working on it, I feel like they love themselves to a certain point, but you brought them deep into the depths of themselves, or you helped them see the depths of themselves, just like they did for you. But I'm talking about the masculine here. I feel like they're really seeing the role that you played, but not from a projection standpoint, not from a blame standpoint. It's there's a newly honoring energy here. They're seeing that you just were that light for them. You just were that love for them, and feeling very magnetized towards you, very missing you. There's a lot of missing energy, and very attracted to you as well, because they're seeing you. They're seeing the transformation that you've undergone as well. And they're seeing that you're honoring yourself. They're seeing that you are loving yourself. They're seeing that you're valuing yourself. And that's very, very sexy and attractive to them. And I do feel like they're seeing the transformation that you had to undergo, the transformation that you've undergone as well. And they're honoring of that. So there's a lot of conscious awareness that's coming through here in the connection, and how they're feeling about you and how they're viewing you. And there's a lot of a softer energy that just came in. Just a lot of love energy just came in. And there's a lot of healing that's coming through on the tail end of this energy. A lot of forgiveness that's coming through on the tail end of this energy. This feels like a new beginning. This feels like a new beginning for you both. Divine Feminines, how are you feeling towards your masculine? Divine Feminine, how are you feeling towards your masculine? True love, you know this. You know that this is true love between you guys. And I feel we have children here, but I feel you or your person could have children. This could be, reuniting with that, but I feel like it's more like an inner child energy. I feel like it's bringing back that playfulness energy to the connection where there was so much intensity. Now, because you're in a different energy, now because you've healed so much, because you've undergone such a drastic transformation within yourself, you've ascended within yourself, you're embodying a different energy. It's like this more playful energy is coming through. And that's really who you are. I feel like there was just a lot of trauma that was holding that back. I feel like this connection might have brought a lot of that out for you. And I feel like allowing that playfulness to come out, the innocence of your connection, allowing yourself the innocence of love is what I'm hearing. Allow yourself the innocence of love to come through again in your connection, because there had been so much pain. There had been so much trauma coming to the surface. There had been so much projection of that old trauma, of that old karma, of that old template coming up. There was such an intensity of this connection, and now it's like allowing yourself to feel the innocence of this love again. Amazing, beautiful. I want to get a final message for you both using my Journey of the Heart deck. As I'm shuffling, I just want to remind you guys that I'm going to be closed without exception for the rest of December. I'll be opening again to all services in January, but I do have the 2023 year aheads available. So if you want to see what's coming for you in the year ahead, 2023, we did this very successfully last year. I love doing these. I do have like a 2-week wait list right now because I opened it up first to the newsletter. And a lot of you guys joined it and a lot of you guys ordered it. So thank you so much. That is quite an honor. So make sure that you get your bookings in. It's going to be limited availability, I think, until the 15th of January. So do make sure that you get your bookings in if you want to see what's going on for 2023, the year ahead. Okay, and you can learn all about that on the bookings page on my website, what that whole reading entails. I also have a post pinned on my Instagram. All right, Divine Masculine, what do we need to know from your end about this connection? What do we need to know? Strength. You're recognizing the divinity of one another. That has been the entire crux of this reading. You're feeling the essence of harmony within your partnership. Let the power of this true love renew your strength for this journey. Divine Feminine. My goodness. Divine Feminine, what do we need to know from you with regards to this connection and this journey? One card, please. The Knight of Wands. Passion is building in your connection, bringing in a renewed sense of excitement and adventure. That's this energy here, that innocence energy, that love energy. Remain balanced within yourself, but don't be afraid to feed the flame of your desires. That's what I was picking up on with this Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. There's a little bit of an undercurrent of fear here because it's like, what if I give too much again? What if I give myself? What if I feel the depths of this love again and open my heart again? There's just a little bit of a guard here. I feel like the masculine is going to break down that guard, though. I feel like the masculine is going to break down that wall. I feel like they have or are gaining the strength and the capability within themselves to hold that space for you feminines. And I feel like that's where you just remain balanced and allow yourself to receive that love now. Allow yourself to receive. Because your union is going through a transformation. From decay comes new growth. One cycle within your connection has reached its natural conclusion. Now allow your union to transform. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. I am sending you all so much love and so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.